today's video is all about watermelon and lemon crafts. I'm joining Ellie from DIY from House to Home in this wonderful fruit challenge playlist. Please see the description box below for the links to the playlist. Let's get started with craft number 1. For this craft, we're going to use some small wood slices. The pack I have was a variety pack, so they're all different sizes, and I think this works great. And I'm going to take some of my Waverly paint here in the color yellow, and I'm going to paint the tops and the bottoms of these little wood slices. I'm also going to go ahead and I'm going to paint the edges around the wood slices as well, so that everything is yellow. Once I'm done, I'm going to grab my white Waverly paint and I'm going to just lightly put some paint on there, and I'm using a very flat brush, and I'm going to just make a quick X or a T on your wood slice. I'm going to repeat that step, and then it's going to look like a little mini pizza. Once that's done, I'm going to put a small little line in between each one of those slices, just to kind of make it look like the inside of a lemon. To finish this lemon, I'm going to just do a quick outline in white around the circle. So these lemons are finished now, but if you wanted to take it up a level, you could do this optional step. For this optional step, I'm going to be using some Mod Podge and some yellow glitter, but you could use glitter in any color you'd like. And I'm just going to go ahead and add the Mod Podge around the rind of the lemon here. The next step here will be to grab our glitter, and I'm just going to pour it over the top of this lemon slice. And I'm just going to twist the lemon slice around until I get glitter all over the rind. Once that is complete, we can set these aside to dry. These lemon slices are great to use in your tiered trays. I'm also going to use them in the next craft. Craft number 2. For this craft, we're going to use the tumbling blocks from the Dollartree. I'm going to glue 3 of the blocks together to make a square using wood glue and hot glue. You can make as many as you'd like, but I made 4 sets in this video. Once these blocks are dry, I'm going to grab my Waverly white paint, and I'm going to completely coat both the front and the back side of these squares with that white paint. Once I'm done painting these squares, I set them aside to dry. While they're drying, I'm using my Cricut to make up some cute little stickers to put on these squares. For this easy peasy lemon squeezy sticker, I was able to use the outline of the sticker to put on one, and then made 2 stickers out of one cutout, which was great. When applying the Squeeze the Day sticker, I decided that I wanted to use one of the little lemon slices that we made in our first craft on this little square. So I made sure to align up the sticker to fit the lemon slice. Now you don't need a Cricut to do these signs as well. If you'd like, you could also use the rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree or some stickers. You could also paint on the squares or do some stenciling. So now comes the fun part, decorating up these little signs. For the first one, I added a lemon from our first craft. For the second sign here, I had some lemon ribbon, and I made a little bow to go on top of the square. And for this last one, I took some of this really cute twine from the Dollar Tree in white and yellow, and I made just a quick little bow to attach to our sign. Next, I'm going to grab my Mod Podge, and I'm just going to do a light coat over the top of these words just to make sure nothing peels off. Now these signs are all ready to go for your tiered tray. Craft number 3. So I found this watermelon fabric at the Dollar Tree, and I fell in love with it. And I was trying to figure out what I'd like to do with it. And I decided I'm gonna take this sign here that I also got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to remove the canvas from the frame. And we're gonna save that canvas, and we're gonna use it in another craft. And I'll link that video in the description box below, so you guys can check that out. But for the watermelon here, I'm just going to go ahead and lay the fabric out over the top of this frame. And we're just going to trim off some of that excess fabric, and we'll set that aside for another craft as well. So now that we have the fabric trimmed up to what we would like, I'm just going to take my iron here and just iron the fabric and make sure all the wrinkles are out of this fabric. Next, we make sure that the fabric is laying face down, so we want to see the back side of the fabric. And we're going to set the frame on top of that. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start folding over the fabric on this frame. And I'm going to use my pink clips that I did get at the Dollar Tree, and these are the larger ones. And I'm just going to clip the fabric in place. And then I grab a staple gun and I just go ahead and start stapling across on that top row there. And we're going to repeat that step on the next one, and you really want to make sure the fabric is pulled tight. So you see me flipping the frame over and making sure I have it pulled as tight as I can. And then we go ahead and just staple the rest as we go along. And for the ends, I fold it like I was wrapping a package, and then I flip the fabric up and I go ahead and just pull everything tight again, just with those pink clips, and we re-staple everything. Now that that's complete, I did not get this on camera, but I really wish I would have. But I did grab out some sheer white ribbon, and I'm going to make basically it's kind of like a memory board, I would want to say, but it's just a small board that we can put business cards or photos on. And so I'm taking this sheer ribbon and I'm just making little X's across the front side and then wrapping them around to the back. And then using the staple gun again, I'm just stapling those ribbons into place. And once everything is stapled in place, I'm just going to trim off any of the excess ribbon. And when I started trimming this ribbon, I stacked it up and I'm like, oh, I can just make a quick bow out of it. So that's what I did. I just stacked up this ribbon in a little pile, and I'm going to make a bow for the top of our memory board. So to attach the bow to our memory board, I use these Jot push pins from the Dollar Tree, and I just put the push pin through the knot of the bow, and I just push that straight into the frame. Now I'm going to flip the frame back over, and I'm going to reattach the hook so that we can hang this on the wall. And then we flip that over and we have a beautiful little memory board. Craft number 4. So we're going to start with these wood squares. And yes, I am going to make coasters with them. I know that is made a lot, but just in case you haven't seen how to decoupage fabric onto coasters, I thought I would show you since we had some extra watermelon fabric. So for these, I just went ahead and I flipped the fabric over on the back side and I traced the squares on the fabric so we could cut out the fabric squares. I just wanted to take a quick moment to say thank you for watching. If you're still watching, please press that like button below or hit subscribe. That really helps spread the word on these videos. Also, if you'd like to comment on where you're watching from, I love hearing where everybody's from. I'm from Washington State. So back to the craft. I'm going to go ahead and take these wood squares and put them on a paintable surface. And what I'm doing here is painting them with some Mod Podge in matte. And we're just going to do a nice coat over the top of these squares. After I'm done painting the squares with the Mod Podge, I'm going to let them dry completely. And now I'm going to take my piece of fabric and put them on top of these squares. And since they're both dry at the same time, I'm just going to iron them on at the same time. So I'm using a piece of parchment paper over the top of the fabric and just ironing the fabric onto that Mod Podge. Then I'll take some of my dishwasher safe Mod Podge and I'm going to use that to seal the top of the fabric. For this, I did do 3 coats of Mod Podge. So I would let the Mod Podge dry in between each coat and then do another layer. So once those are completely dry, I grabbed some of my cork board squares. And I did get these on Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description box below. Now with these squares, they are more of a sharp point on the square and they're not rounded like wood squares that I'm using. So I'm going to have to trim some of that cork off of the squares. So I started by trying to trim some of that off with my scissors, and that worked, but I wasn't able to get as close as I would like. So I actually went ahead and grabbed a razor blade to just trim the rest off. Just be really careful when you're doing this because it is really sharp. Now once that's complete, we have 2 beautiful coasters that we can use out in the summertime. Thank you for watching. Please remember, craft more, stress less.